Hi, welcome to the Gear Garage. My name is Zach, and this is my fun little internet show about whitewater stuff, rafting, kayaking, whatever. And today we'll talk about personal safety kits. A safety kit that you might want to carry with you when you're private boating or raft guiding. And I do mostly multi-day trips, and I learned by having one big safety kit on a trip. This is like a safety kit I bring on the trips that I do, and it has all kinds of stuff. It has tons of carabiners in it. It has some really big, beefy pulleys. But most importantly, it has a large static line. This big safety kit is mainly a 200-foot static line with some extra safety stuff. And this is probably a bit much for everybody to carry. And this is really designed for pulling wrapped, like 18-foot gear boats off of big rocks. So this would be good for day trips too, but sometimes it's a bit overkill or a little bit too much to carry. So we're not going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about what you might personally carry with you on, again, like a private trip or if you're a raft guide on a team. And this is almost everything you need to set up a Z-rig or other safety systems. It's kind of a lot of stuff, but if every guide has it, it's not, far away. When the rescue has to happen, if a couple guides are there, they have a lot of gear to take care of the problem. With this big safety kit that we bring, it's always on the last boat. If there's a wrap, we have to wait for the boat to get there, unload it, get it to the guides somehow. Or if the last boat wraps, that wrap kit is underwater, or that safety kit's underwater. I like to call them safety kits, not wrap kits, because they're a lot more than just wraps. And so, again, if every guide has a personal set of gear with them, or every private boater has a personal set, you can deal with most things and you can do it quickly. And so, my friend Mark introduced this 4-3-2-1 rule for how much stuff to bring. I kind of like it. It's pretty easy to remember, and it starts off with 4 carabiners, and that's 4 locking carabiners. I have 3 here. I should have 1 more. And on any kind of safety thing, carabiners go quick. So having a lot of carabiners is nice. 4 is a minimum, but a good number. And if there's 2 guides there, you have 8, so you're in good shape. Then he talks about having 3 pulleys. And 3 pulleys, it's a good number of pulleys. It's enough to do a Z-rig and a change of direction. And if you don't know what that means, cool. But if you do, you're like, oh yeah, 3 pulleys is a good number to have. So if every guide has 3 pulleys, they can be on the scene to either set up a Z-rig for either pulling a boat off or for a tension diagonal or something. And you have all the pulleys you need to do that. So 3 pulleys, 2 prussiks. And prussiks are loops of rope like this that have a smaller diameter than your safety line. They're usually tied together with a double fisherman's. And so this is a typical prussik. I'm a big fan of these ones now. This is a Sterling auto block, and it's pre-sewn, so this sewn loop, this sewn part is stronger than a knot. And so I highly recommend the sewn loops, and it kind of has a square feel to it, which is really easy to work with on the rope. And so I'll put a link to this in the notes below. It'll be an Amazon link, so you can go to Amazon and buy it. And it's a pretty cool little thing, and you can find it a lot of places. But I highly recommend this auto block. So 2 prussiks, and then 1 flip line. And so here's the flip line I've been using. This is the one that Blue Water makes. It's pretty cool. And this should have a carabiner with it. That would be the 4th carabiner with it. And then finally, along with one throw bag. Every guide needs to have a throw bag. So either like a waist belt throw bag or one you carry off your boat. This is one that's pretty beefy. This isn't meant to be a waist belt one, but this one goes on your raft. And this is a pretty beefy static line. So, even if you wrap a paddle boat, a throw bag may not be enough to pull it off because throw bag rope stretches quite a bit and just doesn't have the power. You might want a beefier rope like this with you for some sort of safety line. So, throw bag / safety line. And this one I hear is pretty cool. I haven't used it, but I'm hearing great things about it. And so, finally, this is a lot of stuff. 4 carabiners, 3 pulleys, 2 prussiks, a flip line, and a safety line. Where do you carry these things with you? And because it's your personal equipment, it's not group equipment like this big bag. So nowadays, modern PFDs, they have pockets in the front, pockets in the side. You could clip carabiners to the outside of your PFD, which some people think is super cool, like that. And you gotta just make sure you lock the carabiner. So you could have carabiners, you could have things. I'm not a fan of things hanging off my PFD, so I don't do this. So you could theoretically get all these pulleys and prussiks and carabiners in your PFD, but it weighs your PFD down. This stuff is going to weigh a pound or 2. PFDs typically add 16 pounds of flotation at a minimum. It's going to decrease your flotation by 2. So I personally don't want to put all this stuff in my PFD. I'm super cool having a flip line and a carabiner in my PFD pocket, which I have. That doesn't add much weight, but all this other stuff I'd rather not put in my PFD just so I have more flotation. So what I'm choosing to do is to put it all in like a little watershed bag. And I have this little red bag that reminds me, so all of my personal safety gear goes in there and it's ready to go. And I might throw a personal communication device, a personal first aid kit. That's just my choice. And that's probably a good idea to have those things. But just a little bag, it could be a little watershed, it could be some other kind of bag that you clip on your boat somewhere handy. And so for me, instead of, again, carrying it on my PFD, I'm going to have it on some separate bag. And this is a bag, again, if I go work a day trip for a rafting company here in town, I'll just bring this with me. They have stuff, but I have my stuff with me. It's easy to access, easy to tie in. Or when I go private boating, if I go cat boating with my friends, or maybe even kayaking and there's rafts along, I'll just throw this in the back of a kayak, tie it in my cat boat. So I'm ready to go to help out with some kind of rescue scenario. So that's about it. I just want to make one important qualification here. This stuff is really only useful with training. And so you should receive some sort of training as swiftwater rescue, swiftwater safety, and practice. You know, get out here, practice your knots, practice using this stuff. If you show up to a scene and you can't use this stuff, it's kind of pointless. And so, and some of this stuff can create dangerous situations. So I highly recommend getting training on how to use your personal safety gear. So that's it. If you're out there, I'm sure you have things to add, subtract, change. You have things to teach me about some of this stuff, what you do. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and others would too. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. And that's it. See you next time.